Welcome to our presentation on SLEMI, Equivalence Modular Input or EMI-based mutation of cyber physical system CPS models to find compiler bugs in CPS development toolchains like Simulink. When designing complex cyber physical systems, engineers would often design graphical models, for example Simulink models, so that they can simulate them in commercial toolchains like Simulink and even generate executables to directly deploy them in target hardware. Now, a bug in the toolchain can propagate to the artifacts that they automatically generate, which is undesirable. So, safety critical systems should not fail due to compiler or CPS toolchain bugs. And randomized differential testing is very effective in finding CPS toolchain bugs. The idea here is that we have a CPS model generator which can automatically create Simulink models. Then we can take the same model and execute and compare the outputs using different CPS toolchain configurations. For example, optimization on and optimization off. Since we are testing the same model but just changing the toolchain configuration, the output should be same. If it's not same, we say that we found a bug. Quick background on Simulink models. These are comprised of blocks, which is the basic component of the CPS model. For example, here the add block takes two input and just sends just adds them up and sends as output. Connections can be defined explicitly or implicitly. For example, here the directed edges between the blocks. We can choose blocks from standard libraries provided by the CPS tool, or can also define custom behavior using native C code. Instead of creating models in a flat hierarchy, engineers would often design models in hierarchy. For example, here the action 1 block is actually comprised of many other blocks. Lastly, we have conditional execution. For example, here based on the input of the if block, either action 1 or action 2 would be selected. Blocks can only accept certain data types. For example, this is the screenshot of the official documentation. The difference block can only support int8 or unsigned int8 and so on. Users can explicitly define the types of blocks or can leave it to be inferred by Simulink. Now, one key difference between cyber physical system and procedural code is the notion of explicit simulation, which we don't see in procedural code. For example, you can explicitly define when a block's output will be sampled using the sample time property, which can be defined for each block, or we can ask the toolchain to infer. Now, the previous approach to differential testing was SL-Forge, which basically generates random but valid Simulink models so that you can use them for differential testing to find bugs in Simulink. The downside is that it's computationally expensive to create Simulink models in this way, and we can only use synthetic models during differential testing. So in this work, we are rather exploring a recent twist on differential testing, which is known as equivalence modular input. The idea is that instead of changing the compiler configuration, we take some Simulink model known as seed and introduce some small change to create a mutant such that there is still functional equivalent. Now we can execute them and compare the outputs. Since they are functional equivalent, their output should be same. If it's not same, we have found a compiler bug. And the idea was first therefore C, where we take some C code, profile it, find the dead path. We can mutate in the dead region, or can also mutate in the live region such that the mutant and the seed are functionally equivalent. We port this idea to Simulink model, but there are some key differences and challenges. For instance, CPS models have this notion of zombie blocks. Let's see this example. The if block always chooses the action 2 block, so this action 2 is clearly live. And this means action 1 will never get executed, so it has properties of dead block. However, action 1 is actually sending output to other live regions in the model, so it has also some live-like properties. So in this manner, action 1 has both properties of both live and dead. We call it zombie blocks. Now the overall idea of SLEMI, we have corpus of models generated from both SL4s and from third-party models, which we call seed. Then we perform some one-time base mutations, which basically collects coverage of all the blocks, and we cache it to improve overall runtime. Next, from this cache, we use mutation to create equivalent models, and then using differential testing, we can find bugs in Simulink. There are several key challenges introduced to CPS. For example, the notion of zombie blocks, which makes creating mutants challenging. There is this explicit notion of simulation time, which we also have to maintain during a mutation. And lastly, there are advanced toolchain features. For example, in C, there is no data type inference or sample time inference, which we have to deal with. The basic algorithm is to take a block to mutant, and if this block is inside a zombie block, then we just delete it and connect the predecessor to its successor. Otherwise, if it's in the top level, that means its output is visible to other live paths. That means we have to mutate it in such a way such that it mimics the output of the block from the seed. Lastly, we mutate in live hierarchies, or enclose a block in a always true or always false branch, or create new connections from the live areas. To evaluate, we ask these research questions. We can compare the runtime of creating a random model from scratch using SL4s, which is much higher than the time taken to mutate a model. The same runtime, we can create more mutants, and this way we can likely find more bugs. Then, how many can EMI actually find bugs? Yes, we have so far reported 14 bugs to the vendor. Among them, 10 were confirmed and 7 were new. Our false positive rate is also low. Lastly, can EMI find bugs that are missed by SL4s? For this, we give the two tools similar resources, and the number of bugs found by SLEMI is actually much higher than SL4s. To wrap up, I just show one example of an example bug. Here in the top row we see the seed, and in the bottom we see the mutant, and the highlighted box are the same in the seed and the mutant. So since this was in a zombie region, we could change the blocks and replace them with other blocks that have similar data types. So this should maintain functional equivalence. However, when we compare the two models, there was a data type mismatch, which resulted in finding a new bug.